If you have been following the explosive viral trend of using specific plants to stop cellular aging, a June 2026 clinical trial published in Nature Aging just confirmed the most important and most overlooked piece of the entire autophagy conversation. The plants work. The cellular flush they trigger is real and measurable. But without addressing what happens immediately after the flush, the majority of people attempting plant-based autophagy protocols are capturing only a fraction of the biological age reversal the research actually promises. To understand why that missing step matters so profoundly, you first need to understand what autophagy is and why its decline is one of the primary drivers of the physical aging that becomes increasingly visible and felt after 50. Autophagy, from the Greek meaning self-eating, is your body's built-in cellular recycling system. It is the biological process by which your cells identify, tag and dismantle their own damaged components, misfolded proteins, dysfunctional organelles, oxidized lipids, and critically the mitochondria that have accumulated damage beyond their ability to self-repair. The dismantled components get broken down into their raw molecular building blocks, which the cell then recycles into new functional structures. Autophagy is how your cells maintain their internal quality, continuously clearing biological debris and refreshing their working components. In youth, autophagy operates with remarkable efficiency. Cellular quality is maintained. Zombie cells, the biological term for senescent cells that have stopped functioning normally but refuse to die, get cleared before they accumulate in significant numbers. The recycling system keeps the cellular environment clean and the tissue function that depends on it operating at full capacity. After 50, autophagy progressively declines. The regulatory pathways that control its activation become less sensitive. The cellular machinery that executes the recycling process operates at reduced efficiency. And the zombie cells that should be cleared begin accumulating in tissues throughout the body. These senescent cells do not sit passively. They secrete inflammatory compounds through what researchers call the senescence-associated secretory phenotype. That chronic inflammation spreads to neighboring cells, impairing their function and accelerating the aging of surrounding tissue. The accumulation of zombie cells is not a symptom of aging. It is one of its primary mechanisms. The 2026 Nature Aging study identified spermidine as one of the most potent natural autophagy activators currently documented in peer-reviewed research. Spermidine is a polyamine compound found in notable concentrations in green tea wheat germ-aged cheeses, certain mushrooms, and other plant foods. It activates autophagy through a mechanism that mimics caloric restriction, essentially tricking cells into activating their recycling programs without requiring the metabolic stress of actual fasting. The plants generating massive viral attention right now, green tea wheat germ mushrooms and their relatives, are trending because their spermidine content has been linked in multiple 2026 studies to measurable improvements in cellular age markers, autophagy activity, and inflammatory burden in senior populations. The viral content is correctly identifying a real biological phenomenon. Spermidine-rich plants can trigger the cellular flush that clears zombie cells and refreshes tissue quality. The science is sound. Here is the critical missing piece that the Nature Aging research specifically addresses and that the viral plant content almost universally omits. Autophagy is the demolition phase of cellular renewal. It clears the debris. It removes the damaged components. It creates space in the cellular environment for fresh functional structures. But the construction phase, the growth of new mitochondria and cellular components to replace what the autophagy process cleared, is a completely separate biological process that requires entirely different molecular conditions to execute. Specifically, the construction phase requires massive amounts of ATP energy. Growing new mitochondria, synthesizing replacement proteins, and rebuilding the cellular machinery that autophagy dismantled are all energy-intensive processes that depend on the cell's existing mitochondria being sufficiently numerous and functional to power the work. When the autophagy flush clears out damaged components from a cell whose surviving mitochondria are themselves depleted by aging, the construction crew has no power for their tools. The zombie cells and damaged debris get cleared, fresh replacements never arrive. And the cellular environment sits cleaner but still underpowered, an improvement over the accumulated debris but nowhere near the cellular vitality the research behind spermidine and autophagy activation actually demonstrates is achievable. This is why senior populations attempting plant-based autophagy protocols through diet or supplementation often experience modest benefits rather than the dramatic cellular renewal the research suggests should be possible. Their autophagy is activating more effectively. The cellular flush is occurring. But the mitochondrial infrastructure required to capitalize on that cleared space with fresh, high-output cellular machinery is not in place. PQQ addresses this construction deficit directly. By activating the PGC1 alpha pathway, PQQ triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, the growth of brand new mitochondria in the cellular space that autophagy has just cleared. New mitochondria built through biogenesis are not carrying the accumulated damage of their predecessors. They produce ATP at the high rates that cellular construction work requires. They respond correctly to metabolic signals. And they restore the energy baseline that allows every subsequent biological repair process, tissue regeneration, visceral fat burning, and immune function maintenance, to operate at the efficiency levels that cellular youth actually represents. CoQ10 fuels those new mitochondria from their first moments of operation, maintaining the ATP output that powers the construction phase continuously rather than allowing the energy available to the cell to remain depleted after the autophagy flush. The combination creates the complete cellular renewal cycle. Spermidine-rich plants or supplemental spermidine activates the demolition phase, clearing zombie cells and damaged components. Mitolyn powers the construction phase, growing fresh, high-output mitochondria that transform the cleared cellular space into genuine, renewed vitality. Mitolyn combines PQQ and CoQ10 in one formula built around this post-autophagy construction principle. Stop trying to unlock cellular age reversal with the demolition phase alone. Power the construction crew, and let the complete biological renewal cycle deliver what the plant aging research has always been pointing toward. I want to be fully transparent with you. The link in my description is an affiliate link. I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only share what I genuinely think is helpful. Flush the old and build the new. Check the link in my description for the 2026 Mitolyn Senior Healthy Protocol. And if you want cutting-edge cellular health content every single day, hit subscribe. We post every morning. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle.